you all have superhuman abilities, but nobody has taught you how to actually use them. Okay? And I am here to actually teach you how to use these abilities. All right? But before we get into that, hit the subscribe button here. And also, I strongly recommend you hit the little bell icon. That way, you get notified every time I go live or I upload a video. Okay? In this case, what I want to talk about is um, you can actually influence others. And how is so? You can actually make others do what you want them to do. Okay, but before I get into this, okay, you must realize that the information that I'm going to give you, you must use it only for the good of all, okay, and not for greedy purposes, not for purposes of you trying to uh, pull something over somebody else, okay. That's not the reason for this, and that's not the way the universe operates. But you need to use this to better your life, but also the lives of others that are in this together with you. Okay, for example, what am I talking about? I'm talking about something as simple as telepathy. Telepathy is actually very, very real, and you can use telepathy to influence others. Okay, how do you do that? It's actually easier than you think. All it takes is practice. Okay, so basically, I'm going to give you a little example. Let's say you are um, in an office, okay, and you are talking to a bank manager and you need a loan, okay? And for example, this bank manager goes through your paperwork and you don't fit their little, square box for whatever reason, okay? So just as about the bank manager, turns around and almost says to you that you're not qualified, you turn around and you use this technique, for example, and next thing you know, he just gets up and says, hang on a second, let me check something out, and comes back within 5 minutes and your loan is approved, for example. So you can use it for scenarios like that. You can use it to help others get better. You can use it to uh, better the lives of yourself and others. So the technique is actually very, very simple, okay? And this is how you do it. First of all, when you want something, let's say, and that person is not in front of you, okay? What you want to do is you want to see that person in perfect health, in perfect light, happy, joyful, having a good time, okay? And then from there, when you feel that you have accomplished that feeling that is, what you do is you actually send a message to them. It's got to be brief, very, very short, and very, very direct. Okay? That message is going to leave from your third, right here between your eyes. They call it the third eye, right? It will leave from this area here, and you're going to see it penetrating the same area right between their eyebrows, okay, or in the middle of their forehead. So you're going to see that message going. You can see it as a light beam. You can see it as a Wi-Fi signal. You can see it any way you want. Doesn't matter. Whatever's comfortable for you, you do. I use it as a straight pipe, for example, white light, and the signal traveling in it. Okay, that's the way I use it. So you would say something direct, like, let's say, your wife is screaming at the children, for example. You would say something direct to her and say, you know what, honey, be nicer to the children. Or it would be nice if you were nicer to the children. Something like that. Very short, very brief, and very loving. Okay? And you just focus on that message penetrating their forehead. Now, if that person is in front of you, okay, and just like the bank manager that I was saying, in this case, you take a deep breath, right? Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, okay? And as you do this, you feel nice, calm, and relaxed. You focus on this area where the bank manager would be sitting. It doesn't matter if they're looking at you or they're looking at the paperwork. You just focus in that area, and then you direct your message directly to them. In this case, you would say, "You will approve my loan." That's it. Okay? You will approve my loan. Finished. You see it penetrating their forehead. You see it penetrating right there. And then you will be amazed at the results. Now, the more you practice this, the better you're going to become at it. Don't be discouraged if you first try it and it doesn't work. That is because you simply haven't. It's like a mind building. Okay, you know how you have bodybuilding? This is mind building. You got to build your abilities to that point where you can actually do this effortlessly. All right, and the more you practice it, of course, the more effortlessly it will become. Try it out with different things, whether it is, somebody in the grocery store. When you become really good at it, of course, you can influence people instantly. Or if somebody is sick, for example, you can use the same technique to make them feel better. You see them in a bright light, you see them healthy, you see them happy, and you just send that message. They don't have to be in front of you in this case. I strongly suggest to you that you send this message during even either early morning or late at night when they're sleeping, because in this case they will be more acceptable of the message will be more acceptable to them, I should say. So you send that message and you tell them, for example, you are healthy, you are feeling great, right? Pick your wording, but it's got to be short, it's got to be simple. And again, you see it leaving your third eye, the middle of your forehead, and entering their middle of the forehead. Okay? Nothing complicated. You just got to visualize it. You got to push the energy through. You got to take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, so you're nice, calm, and relaxed. And it is vitally important that you think of nothing, and I mean nothing else, because you want this to be clear, you want it to be precise, and you will be amazed at the results. You can do this actually with so many different things. Okay, so many different things. Let's say you want a job, right? And you know the person that is responsible for the hiring, you would do the same thing. You would send the message directly from the middle of your forehead, see it penetrating their forehead, and you would tell them, "You will hire me." Okay, plain and simple. But again, like I said, you need to use this only for the good of yourself and for the good of others, and not to harm others. You are not to send these messages to make somebody sick or to hurt them in any way, because I got news for you: the universe gives you what you deserve. So whatever you pitch out, you will get back. So if it is something negative that you want to send out to somebody, you're going to get it back in a tenfold. I guarantee you that. So be very, very cautious how you proceed with this. You got to only think in terms of goodness to yourself and to everybody else, because the universe will give you exactly what you are dishing out. Trust me on that one. Okay? Try it out, play with it, and let me know how it works for you. It will work for you very, very accurately if you practice on it. All right? Love and light. No matter what you do, be the greatest you. Always shine bright. And like I said, subscribe here and also hit the little bell icon. That way you get notified, because I'm going to be doing a lot of videos on this side. Bye for now.